Yeah, greetings.
Honorable, every time.
There again, another using microphone. Pretty. Yeah, pretty though.
Definitely. Calm.
So, very calm. So, we're in the Indigenous village today. We have a reason we are with Firstman. Right now, we are just jumped right tonight. So, we basically go find out first and foremost who is Firstman. We go find out a little about the organization that Firstman is a part of and the work that he has been doing in those organizations. Firstman,
Right.
honorable.
Blessed love my virtue.
Yes, sir.
You know, always I hear the question who is Firstman or and yeah, I remember say I don't really think we know other mission more than the mission of we enslaved people who just want to know that Africa is redeemed. I think that I only so I don't think we get to think about me myself yet because it's like the ancient duty there of restoring the African identity and everything, you know, is not I never tried it personal, I tried it as a collective, you know, Rastafari collective, and I tried to see how best we can figure it out together because colonization brings a whole heap of confusion and a lot of confusion. So the whole mission is just how we can redeem ourselves and we just join a list of ones, you know, in my own small way, you know, how we can do that, you know. The rape that we allow ourselves to be raped as African people is one of the things that brought us here to this space, Rastafari Indigenous Village, you know, because Rastafari in general is just creatives, you know, people who use things from the natural space for, you know, for existence, for everything, you know, with music, with food, you know. Yeah, definitely. So that liberty now would be one where what we find out say I get this whole heap of commercialized traction. These things get. While in our time now when our children, as is a children, all our evolution, our transitions, everything that we are doing is because of how strong Babylon is on grabbing the youths, you know. Yeah. And Burger King and cinemas. So what if something where a youth them say other ones that have fun in and then them our resources now. Yeah, and then our resources now get stolen from and then put business in this light say if you do business man you sell out, you know, that kind of vibes and them now sell out everything including me, you know. So I think we decided so we'll start a place and to start claiming economic rights, you know, and that I youth can be confident that culture is an industry as well as them liberty, as well as them spirituality. It is everything. Once you have your culture, it means that you are identifying yourself from source. You know? So I think that and then source is where we call human resources, you know, energy source, you know. So I think once we start to connect with the source part of it, you know, I think that is the main thing. Come out of the world vibration of this space. How can we reconnect with the values of our tradition? So that is what the village has done for me and my brethren, and you know, we spend ancestrings, a lot of sistrings, spend so many time here just reclaiming ourselves, you know.
So basically the village itself kind of helped define who Firstman is and kind of put meaning Firstman.
In a way because of our pioneering it be, a lot of things that happen we never did expect. You see what I'm saying? So you know, we never have no much template before what is so present in terms of economic rights and spirituality and all of them things they kind of mix in a one, you know. So it was just a growing, expanding process when I stop. So it really hard to define myself completely more than that. I'm up on an African tribe, up on an African liberation. And wherever that take me, that is the destination.
Yeah. And you say you're up on an African tribe and African journey. If you're up on a tribe and a journey, you must have a destination. So tell me about some of the organizations or the help you or where you assist to take that tribe. Which changes when you make the development? You know, just tell me about what you do, some of my organization and
Well, I think I am, if I should find a definition, I think I'm very, because a long time I realized, you know, see myself as everything. So for a long time you'd have the water spirit, I move, I feel a deeper connection to water. Since me there in another space, yeah, me start finding out now, so I'm strong in that plant. You know, me feel the plant vibration. You know, I'm listening a lot. You know, as a one who interact with cannabis, plant always talk to me, you know. But then now when I come in other space and I interact with a lot more other plant just based on the fact that I call myself indigenous. So that indigenous now at that global reach, Rastafari and indigenous together, bring indigenous people from all over the world. People who just love Rastafari and Rastafari spirituality. And then now I share with them I concept of herbs, and them share with I for them concept of herbs, but a different herbs, you know, like ayahuasca, peyote and San Pedro and nice herbs them, you know. So it's like them there are some of my organizations them know and individuals that I know would interact with. And it give I know more a kind of deeper earth meaning. So we have that kind of deeper earth meaning and deeper earth relationship ever since that space, meet strangers who are family.
so it's a grounded spot.
Yeah, for all people. It's like a year or so I really get the opportunity to experience Emperor Haile Selassie becoming members of a new race, which is the human race, but the spiritual human family. When we meet all our people, but I like the spiritual human family. They're more than them into everything, fire, food,
Balancing.
of life and nature. Exactly.
At the end of the day, moderation is key.
Definitely.
You can't have too much fire in here, you know. You have to put it here.
Exactly. Right.
And
So
basically,
we meet all of them modalities there, all of the totality there, you know, and thing, you know. So now me upon the kind of plant journey there, you know.
so as a guy, that plant journey that we're upon, I assume say the plant that I talk about, mainly one of them are ganja, right?
Most definitely. It's a source where I first one that would it kind of, you know, I mean, always have a humble spirit through the poverty, you know, and I grew up, you know. So, you can't do hype because you don't have nothing here about tear up and things. You know, you kind of always have to stay up on it. You look, you know, and things. So that vibes there is a thing we make and I have the kind of humility from them time to overstand, you know. But the thing is what happens is when we really disconnect ourselves and things that only human beings have sense, you know. And I see and when I see the other things them as living entities like the plant and like the elements like the fire and like these things, and when I recognize that they can speak and they have a language like
It's just that we don't interpret or understand that.
we not connect to it, you know, because we only connect to the human world, you know, which is supermarket, school, them thing there. But one whole other world it exists, scientific world too. We take different formation. You know,
So
This is it now. Let's see, you know.
oh, okay. Zine. Alright, so we have quite a few things going on.
yeah.
Zine, and as a foreign, or as an indigenous foreign, Zine, you most likely have an eye out for this one. Especially when come on first start. As you know from day one, even when nobody never did a talk about herbs openly, the Rastaman at the moment always say, oh, ganja for one, ganja more than just smoke, ganja is a healing, it's a holistic vibe, it's a spiritual. Big talks are going as regards to ganja changes. In my opinion, they are more slow, but you know, we're not going into that, right?
Right.
Big talks are going in the island as regards to changes in the ganja industry. You see, we've shuffling one as regards to the topic of the daily order. We hear one of the talk from a famous politician, Sylvia Lisa, Anna, when she mentioned something in one of the videos, and then another politician mentioned something as regards to what the previous DLA chairman did do. So I don't know if they did have any insights or if they did see them use what your opinion on it, and as regards to all our democracies, how you think it go affect traditional ganja farm? I think traditional ganja farm about getting from it, about being gain from it, or at the end of the day, are we go basically have the blade and knife? So what your opinion?
One of the biggest problems I have in reasoning about Jamaica and the issues that might be faced in Jamaica is the fact that the source of Jamaica is so bad. So if you come in and niggle now and start to have a reasoning about how to move forward, while the head of that system is where the root of the problem there. It's like it's hard, you know. So the real what would I call the soul system of the Westminster system, you know. It's not a system where they make to facilitate the people, you know. And to make changes within these type of a system, probably some of the time a politician them would have it so wrong, you know. Things of them kind of too, and that's why probably people will call politicians wicked, because they're too bright if you not know say what them are do not work. You see me? I'm thinking to myself, say the will, you know, to actually make certain changes. Like for example, the amendment. How does a country who signed to a treaty be able to make an amendment even though they signed to a treaty, so boy, they're willing to uphold the drugs, international drug, whatever them.
The 2015 drug amendment.
The amendment, but before that now Jamaica signed treaty so them all fight ganja. Right?
Yeah.
So them signed this treaty. Long time them signed the treaty. But how them manage now if they can break the treaty and do that and do what them do now, which is decriminalize and give Rastafari sacramental rights. How they do that? You know how they do that? The Constitution. So no matter what treaty you sign, it cannot override the Constitution of the country. So it's the Constitution for religious rights, according to these politicians, is all them give. And I Rastafari sacrament. And I don't know if it is not the all the all and all as to how the whole decriminalization thing coming. I don't know. Right? Some claim so, but I don't know. So which means say you have sovereignty. You can within your land decide how you govern your land. I don't think the politicians them get that. Because they fight against everything Jamaican.
That's true.
It's a man say. So be it from this great group of people, Rastafari, who just go so boom out of the attack with them attack I and I as Rastafari. We write songs and poetry about it and then put the country on the map. And they still a fight and I see how it's like they can't say worthy to be praised.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like them put themselves in a position where come like say only through their death them can act sorry. Yeah, it's only through their death our new group are ones that all come or able to revive the damage that these current ones. Because I will for them were in from the police was at 2015, 6 years ago, the amendment make.
Yeah.
So which means that all our politicians them were in there was party to fighting herb. Them living then they're right now.
And then still there with us.
And they still there at top. So them a behave now like says move, them have to go move. Then cannot say sorry and stop. They are so caught up in what other people tell them about herb, not their own experience, you know. Because the Rastaman do it and they use that to demonize the Rastaman complete. And then now, Colorado, Them they use the Rastaman as them best practice example. You know. Them go all the way to Colorado. We have double the amount of people, 5.9 million people there in Colorado, 2 point something
They're
there.
different. No, but
Different
it's a
environment,
culture, different everything complete.
Pay scale, everything
Yeah,
different. And when
everything.
I hear the man when I begin a reason Rasta, I pay a Colorado consultant. The man them a bring in to come talk and rare and then I check we to find out who we the smuggle it got up. What the market really. You know? What them a do it for I behalf, you know. You see me?
But they not allow you.
We
to
not
do it.
involved in a conversation.
So how them a do it on your behalf and you know?
I go one conference one time and something about poverty alleviation. And the first thing they get me is that it did a keep out a half moon. I said, half moon.
And a poverty.
I'm all car still, you know. I drive go up there. When we see type of vehicle where people them a walk out of firewall to talk about poverty, I don't bother go in there. Because I look at old car with a want and I look at help start and then thing, I have to park it on one slope and then something. Nobody in there don't know nothing about poverty Rasta. And I see them thing. These people are talking on the behalf of a topic that they same one were fighting and now they become the expert on it. And then don't see nothing wrong with that mentality. I don't know. No, and what I say, I don't know in myself if I pity me for have for them, you know, or what. So,
But if you have pity for them, you'd have feel sorry for them.
But
So
this
why
is
you
what
feel sorry for
me,
them?
but this is what I say. I don't know if I fool them, because when I want fool me have.
Oh, same.
You understand what I say? Because I know it's not deliberate. You know what I say? So I kind of feel like a sadness in my heart. You know, so them do what them do and things. Lisa Anna is really, you know, she don't know me. But then now she represent, you know, so me can say is not my favorite person. She don't even know me. She put herself in that position. Run feet or make one well up a nice or something. So I mean, with she, you know, I think she actually a try. Somebody who me never really have no kind of admiration for. I never like her in a culture because I don't know what that means, you know, when it comes to she. You know, because I think that anyone who deal with culture, if you can't talk about culture, you have to have some cultural experience. If you can't deal with culture.
You can't send a mechanic in the kitchen to go cook food.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean this theoretical cultural experience and thing and where. So when I hear that, I kind of make a little speech the other day. The only thing I could say is that it's only through acts of love you can become love.
True.
It's only through civilized acts you can become civilized. So even if you're not mean it, you understand what I say? The implementation for you to become it means you definitely have to even do it. So even somebody where you know hate but you recognize to yourself, so you have to talk, you kind of talk to them till it not become no bother. And because them get better, you know, because you grow. You see me? So me I say our little effort come out in a one spice suit there and thing and then she talk about ganja. Nah go lick it Rasta. Nah go lick it. In the pan one part.
So she have a vision.
In the pan, even if I lie I tell, it have to take some kind of approach like that to get involved. Cause it sound like you do a little research and then you know, you might talk like a patois like a better to one them things. So it sound like she put a effort in trying to understand.
So basically we just have to keep your eye them open and see
More and praise that. You know what I'm saying?
Give credit where credit.
More and praise that. But the man them set up the thing for about not for Jamaica. Them set it up for export. From day one, their mission, when I read what's in the light burner said, what Shaw Beck's about is that the exporting a sort out. So our medicine needs to be created to be exported. When I really check out the early conference, you know, we can remember the man them talk Rasta. And the value chain was like the tickets, you know. That was the value chain, you know.
Yeah.
So meaning to like a man who breach 2 ounce. It's like how they can build a quota right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
It's like how they can build a quota
Damn.
and say, boy, every police must carry a certain amount of seatbelt ticket
Yeah.
because the law is not being upheld. And they have all of them things, a quota where them have to meet each police station to know, say, yeah, do your work.
Yeah.
That was them thing that was a calculation. You see me? You know now, say, boy, you need a ticket them, so when you catch a man now, so it look like a ticket them not set up. So it's a judge them a do it. You see what I say?
You know
So
something
when the
going
man
on.
them check Colorado and them place that they know, saying it's them thing the Colorado are offer. They are a kind of regulatory framework where the value where you extract from outside is to how much now you can this decriminalization thing where you go pay a ticket, them think that the income stream. You see me? The income stream never lie in the relationship now of an identity, you know, or I'm embracing now the fact that you could actually use this whole vibration of the decriminalization and the sacramental rights to position Jamaica, you know, and them kind of thought process then now where you say, well, all right, now I'm in the positioning now, it all come all the way now to the small man. You know what I deal with that? Where the small man thing there, it's to catch him, give him a ticket, we make him now go have a criminal record, but
But he still have to pay.
he still have to pay something. So the ganja industry, them look at things that the ganja industry are built upon fireball. And
Yeah, that's right.
you don't have no bright strike right now, and the fire look red. But I really, that's the thing there. You know, it's disturbing to see the level of short-sightedness there because it's taxes. The Colorado model is taxes. And it is the type of software, responsive type software, what them would indeed require to put in place to ensure that it can move accountable. Those were the best practice examples that they were verifying in the early days for how the industry or
That
make
now
money.
we're Jamaican culture.
The culture and cultural industry is not something that our government is educated about. Listen, anything we have to do with like creative industry, them not we not just look and see how Jamaica treat creative industry. Listen, you know, and when you see how Jamaica treat creative industry, one look at unit in a jam pro, you know, that that's a creative industry seat up. You know? And I see them have JBDC and things Jamaica. No man say. And them have a little incubator thing for Marcus Garvey Drive too. But in terms of the serious mechanics, for it be something that can be exported, you know, and bring it to a level where the export that can be for the people as an experience, as a tourist country. It wants them miss
I know.
the vibration of Jamaica. They miss the energy. So when you have a little country like this, where should not sell out its backside because it has so much in its essence. You know, just how we talk, just how we walk, just how we, you know, everything that is Jamaican Rasta, everybody would and did want. You know, just by our name. We never have to dig out the earth and everything. So these uncivilized behavior of trying to theorize economics beyond the people's ability to function with life and nature as the source of your economics. That look a bit too bright. You know, that look a bit too bright. It's not simple enough. You know, it not serve that like a purpose there where man them go to school to be technical about. You know what I deal with? You know, the way how it's set up, it needs a kind of hierarchy thing. So if you come to the people and I work from what are happening in your community, like ganja, like farming, you're not gonna look like you're ambitious. You got a university to come back in your own community to expand farming. No, you man, they want one different type of suit for wear and them thing, and this is a problem. This is a problem, you know, when we really look foreign, they are local solution.
So therefore, the investment that the youth or someone would have to pay attention to greater than because a youth, I go a university, and for example, you come from a farming community, Zane, and him go to university. Nothing wrong with him come back to the community, you know.
Come to water harvesting,
You understand?
good
Develop the farm.
agriculture practices, you know what I deal with, but guess what now? If a youth a study environmental science, man, no work na the field. If him going to agricultural science, when people hear say that he must study, they move past him fast. Yes, I'm deal with them things that get the type of ratings where, you know, one would start look for them and, you know, feel ambitious. No, you're not go to church, go tell the church sister, say, you're a youth, I study farming. That don't sound good, you know? Accountant and doctor and them kind of thing, that people that love here.
That's true, the mindset that we have because if we even look from Jamaica from our own can technically say originally a farming island, you know. Originally we are get everything we are get out of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of contradictory now that we get in a modern time we kind of shun farming or when a man say farming we kind of look down on it in our type of way.
It's a terrible psychological problem because if what you are, you were enslaved to be. Yes, so you use farming, which should be your natural self, as a weapon against you. So you become against yourself, which is the earth. It's a terrible,
Fight yourself.
it's a terrible psychological because your good has been demonized. So you don't see it to be good for you no more. You know, and that is the essence. That's why I mean they have conversation outside of addressing colonization. It's just like a patch. It's like a patch. You put on the problem. Because you don't have no ground zero. Where you can start and say, boy, alright then, this is an interpretation. We sit down and kind of accept, like say, independence and these things, ending of slavery, abolition of slavery. Them think that wasn't because nobody conscience. They tell them, say, boy, what they were doing was wrong and they need to do better. It's I agitation, always a war and a cost them money and them just find different way, neo-colonial approach to still control I mind. No. Yeah, just to see a modern day slavery. So you find out now, say, and it's systemic to how we think about one another. You know, so the politician really see there is a hierarchical mindset of higher and lower and not a unit when you're in Jamaica. You know, so you know it always will be. Politicians are not trained to say I am wrong. Because if they ever do that, in next election, it will be one big thing. But if somebody will cut out the sound bite there and say, see it?
They say wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
At the end of the day, you know.
So there's no environment of honesty. So when the ones them talk, it's difficult to believe. So there's any integrity in a sound.
I know, all if I things them say, well, difficult to we believe in it. And it's not that we don't really want to believe it, it's just based on them track record. You get what I mean?
Exactly,
So
fireball.
if you're known to be saying things and at the end of the day after you say it and you go and look and all we are wasted, you do what you say you're going to do and you not do it. It will just become a stigma for you.
Suspicious.
You
become suspicious and then you start calculate now why the youth them a write so much songs about killing them one another and rare and whatever. It's because at the head you can find that there is no integrity, there is no example to follow. You see me? Because the whole thing mix up. So when you carry the thing now to ganja and try to fix the problem in the middle, of some people who are their psychological evaluation is against themselves. then really and truly, the man them said the amendment was a bipartisan agreement. Yet still, Mark Golden chose to have an advisory committee and Chuck Downs chose to have none. In my estimation, what a bipartisan agreement would have meant is that both governments come and agree in how we will approach this.
So one government did that honor it and the other one never did that.
I don't even know if you call it honor or dishonor. What I am saying is it is not a function of the ministry to say this is how we are going to approach it despite which government under a bipartisan agreement. You see what I say?
Supposed to be unity.
At least under a bipartisan agreement, it shouldn't mean say you at least talk amongst yourself and then say I will present this way to the Rastafari community of how we could facilitate this right that we have amended and give to you. You see me? So when one man come and say, boom,